If this is you, you're not ready to retire. All right, so every now and again I'll get a client, and throughout my career I've got more because now I can be very particular on the clients I take, which is pretty doggone cool if you ask me. What are you guys doing over there? Well, they got some termites or pests or something like that. And one time we had a flying squirrel. Oh my goodness. We had a flying squirrel in our, there's a squirrely, hold on a second. We had a flying squirrel in our, above the fan, above the range, you know what I'm talking about? And he got in there somehow, and it died in there. And then he stopped the fan from kicking, so we couldn't kick on the fan. So I took it out, and I couldn't get to him. And I left the fan in there, but I was like, let me just try doing this. And I turned the fan on. I was just messing around. I turned the fan on, and I guess I cut him, and blood just started pouring down on the range. It freaking stunk. It was just, oh my goodness, it was so nasty. So he called the guy to come up there and get it out because I couldn't get him out. This thing was about the size of Pablo. In Georgia, we have flying squirrels. I don't know if you got them where you are, but this thing was huge. And he put him in a bag. I was like, holy crap. So we had a crepe myrtle where I planted, and it was, you know, it was gone big. And so the guy said, just make sure you prune those crepe myrtles because they got a way of jumping from the crepe myrtle onto your roof, which they can somehow get into one of the vents or something like that. So you got it, man. Oh, that was, I'll never forget my wife saying, but I took a picture of it. And she went there, I took a picture of it. I took a video of the blood just, I said, watch this. Oh, watch out, dearie. Anyway, so be careful flying squirrels and prune your trees, just FYI. All right. So every now and again, I'll get a client who says, hey, I want to retire, and we're just running the numbers and it's not looking good. I said, you got to stay working. A couple things, you're going to have to cut back expenses or increase your income, or you're just going to have to stay working. That's all there is to it. And without exception, what if I got a greater return on my money? And every time I hear that, I said, you're not ready, dude. Because what if you get a greater return on your money? Well, what does that mean? It means entailing more risk, taking on more risk. And what does more risk mean? You have to understand this. More risk, yes, you could potentially get a greater return on your money, but what's the negative to that? The corollary to that is you could lose more money. So let's just say that guy has got $300,000. He's like, man, I said, it's just not going to happen. He's like, yeah, but what if I got 10% rate of return as opposed to 6%? Yeah, I'm just using that for example. I said, yeah, that could happen, but that's a game of chance. And on top of that, it's not just a game of chance. There's a significant chance that not only will you get 10%, but you'd be down 37%. A la 2008. Remember, guys, net of inflation, 2008 was the worst market we've ever had, ever. People say, no, it's not true, Josh. 1931. It's 31 or 30. I think it was 31. 32. Maybe it was 32. The S&P 500 was down 44%. But you know what else was down? GDP. We had a deflation of 9.9%. So net of inflation, 2008 was the worst market we've ever had. So let's just say we're sitting there in 2006. You're like, man, I just got to get out of this crap old job. I mean, I know I don't have enough, but I think I can get 10% a year. I said, dude, that's I don't know, man. And so I'm doing it. I'm going to put my money in the S&P 500, or even worse, I'm going to put my money in the QQQs, NASDAQ, or even worse, I'm going to take leverage. Yeah, it could work. And then kaboom, kabang, kabung hit in 2008. Well, actually, October 2007 to March 9th of 2008. A 57% decline. You're out of your crappy old job, and you're also out of your retirement sustainability. Because not only was it a 57% decline, you got your money back if you could stayed in until about 2012. You got back to even Steven. But you weren't staying in until 2012. You know why? Because you're pulling money out. So the $300,000 you put in on January 2007, and you're pulling money out of there. Now it's 2012. You got no money, dude. You're done. Your goose is cooked because you pulled with 5 years of distributions out plus a 57% decline, your goose is cooked. This is why Dave Ramsey saying 8% is such a, it just literally is an idiotic thing to say, man. I mean, if you're saying explicitly 8% of your account balance, 100%, that's sustainable. But 8% of a $300,000 account is $24,000. 8% of $100,000 is $8,000. You've taken a 66% decline in your income. I mean, if you could do that, it's great. But that's not what Dave Ramsey is implying. He's implying that the average rate of return is 10%. You take 8%, you're averaging 2% addition to your capital. That's just it's just moronic, man. And I love Dave Ramsey. It's just moronic. And I don't know why he's so proud to continue on with that. It's actually very frustrating. Very, very frustrating to me because Dave Ramsey does so much good on the debt side. That's too bad. Anyway, so the point being is if you need extra growth on your portfolio in order to retire, and this is what we call chasing for yields, reaching for yields, and yields doesn't have to be just income accounts. It can be investments. I need more money. What are we doing here, guy? I need more money on my portfolio. That's chasing for yields too. So we're saying I'm not getting enough, so I need to put more money. I need to have more my money invested differently, so I can get a higher rate of return. That's no different than chasing for yields, reaching for yield. And anytime you do that on the fixed income side, we know you're taking on more risk. You're buying more junk bonds, longer term, and things of that nature. But anyway, so if this is you, you're ready to hang it up, but you're like, man, I can't make this work unless I get a higher rate of return. You're just not ready to retire. Retire is about decumulation, i.e. preservation. We're going to, whoa, what are you doing, dude? What is this guy doing? We're going to be in the phase where we're pulling money out. Not only are we not adding money, all right, we're pulling it out. The days of accumulation are done. Now it's preservation. I cannot explain this enough. Understand that. This is why all these people like down on me for talking about EDV and long-term government bonds. Like, like, dude, right now is the time. Don't buy. Listen, some guy said, "No, listen to you, and I'm down 10% on my long-term bond." I didn't tell you to do anything, man. I'm just telling you right now. Think about long-term government bonds right now. The upside is amazing. The downside is behind us. But, I mean, I could be 100% wrong. This is your money, dude. Listen to what your gut says. In the interim, you're getting 4 and 5% a year while you're waiting for any upside to occur. And the government bonds are 100% guaranteed by the federal government for the payment of principal and interest. There's literally no risk there other than the day-to-day volatility. And in my opinion, the day-to-day volatility is well behind us on the downside. Now, I could 100% be wrong, but you'd have to explain to me how I'm wrong. And if you want to do that, by all means, they'll say the interest rates are going to go up. Okay. All right, well, we'll see. I mean, we had a huge increase in interest rates from 2022. We've never seen anything like that. You think that's going to happen again? Then you shouldn't buy bonds. I don't, though. All right, I'm going to get some gas. 309 here in Georgia. I guess they added back the gas tax. Freaking scumbags. Take it off, Brian Kemp. They added back the gas tax because we're down to $2.79 not that long ago. And the reason was because we didn't have a gas tax. He got rid of it for a couple months to help Sniffy Joe in his re-election campaign. Sniffy Joe for Prez. It's going to be great. All right, we'll see you.